Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Happy Wednesday. Yes, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope that you guys are having a good day. I just wanted to pop on here really, really quickly with um, three tips that I wanted to share with you about some mistakes that I see frequently women make when they are starting to address their autoimmune issues from a nutrition standpoint. And I just want to go over those three mistakes quickly with you guys to make some changes if you fall into the trap. So, number one is let's go right into it. Number one is under eating. It's really interesting because a lot of women actually think they're overeating. And what they're doing is they're starving their bodies. And one of the symptoms that they get is they are starving all the time. They are getting hangry. When they wake up in the morning, an hour in, they are starving. They need to eat something. In between meals or even after meals, they're starting to feel hungry right away. There's no feeling of fullness, of feeling nourished and able to sustain. And that is most of the time that I see it's because people are under eating. And when I say that, I always get big eyes because people think, but I'm not losing any weight. I have so much weight to lose. And what if you tell me to eat so much more food? I'm just going to be gaining more weight. But the fact is that it's actually the opposite because most of the times those women are actually undernourished. So they might be eating enough in terms of, calories, but they are undernourished in terms of nutrition. So what that means is that even if you start restricting your meals and even if you start to cut down on the volume of your meals, what that does to your body is it actually puts your body in a state of stress because your body is always trying to find balanced homeostasis and your body is using the nutrients that you're providing it with to repair and to restore cells and to just keep balance on a daily basis and to just keep the energy going that your body just needs in order to function properly, in order to breathe, in order to digest, in order for just the day to day energy that all of your organs need. So that alone requires a certain amount of nutrients. And if you're starting to cut down on nutrients, which happens when you start to undereat, not enough volume, you're cutting down on the nutrients and you're probably eating the wrong types of foods as well that doesn't deliver as many nutrients into your system, then you are taking away the energy from these organs that they need in order to function properly in your body to function properly on a daily basis, which then signals to your body that, oh my goodness, we have to prepare for bad times. Something is coming because we're not getting what we need in order to survive. And so your cortisol will go up and your stress response in your body goes up and your body is starting to hold on to the weight no matter what because the body wants to hold on to those energy reserves that it has in form of fat, just to dip into during those bad times that they are that your body is now expecting because the food supply is being shortened, right? So that is why I always say to my clients and to my family as well is you can't overeat on healthy food per se, right? So if you feel hungry, then eat. There's no sense in starving yourself because it sends the wrong message to your body. It's very detrimental. It'll actually help you gain weight. So if you're feeling hungry, make sure that you're eating and don't undereat because it's not going to be helpful long term for weight loss or any sort of action in trying to bring down the inflammation in your system. So that's number one. Number two that I see that people often make mistaken is They are restricting too many food groups, too much food. They're restricting too much food. So what happens is, when a lot of women or people are starting to address their autoimmune from a nutrition standpoint, there's this theme right now out there that restricting foods is essential in order to lower inflammation. And while that has, some value behind it, it's long term, it's not going to be beneficial for your body. Your body is not going to restore and repair if you are cutting out entire food groups. Um, the body needs a lot of nutrients. Our bodies, especially if we are dealing with ongoing inflammatory processes, which we are with autoimmune, we need an extra amount of nutrients in our system. And those nutrients come in from a very diverse group of foods, right? And that includes legumes, that includes grains, that includes vegetables, that includes fruits. All of these different food groups have a different combination of nutrients that work together in synchrony in order to bring to the body what it needs. And we need to establish this balance of nutrients in order to address every single cell, every single body system, organ in our body to make sure that it gets what it needs. And by restricting just because of, somebody told you that legumes are bad for you, or just restricting grains because somebody told you that you have to get off all grains because grains are inflammatory, um, just by blatantly cutting out all of these food groups, you are starting to restrict a lot of nutrients and your body starts to become nutrient deficient very, very quickly. I see that quite often is that people are very nutrient deficient when they're coming to me. People are very nutrient deficient even though they believe they have been doing the right things and they have been on, let's say, an AIP diet for a very long time. And they are, you know, the symptoms are coming back and all of it because of the fact that the body is starving for nutrients. So restricting for the sake of restricting symptoms is not helping. Restricting to avoid food triggers, individual unique food triggers to yourself temporarily in order to create an environment of the ability of restoring and repairing is essential. But bringing in those nutrients and bringing in diversity is going to be key in order for you to long term live well with an autoimmune. So that's number two. And number three is relying on heavily on supplementation. And that kind of like ties into number two, restricting too much foods and too much nutrients. So, what often happens is that women go on a very restrictive diet for a long period of time and they feel good in the beginning because their symptoms go away because by blatantly just, um, cutting out so many food groups, there has to be one food in there that your body's reacting to. So that's why they're feeling better. However, all the other nutrients that you're not reacting to, you're still cutting out. And so what happens then is your body's starting to become nutrient deficient. And so your practitioner might suggest supplementation for you. I can speak from my experience that when I first started on my journey and I went to many naturopathic doctors, I left the naturopathic doctor's offices with a whole list of supplementation that they wanted me to purchase and take regularly. And that was, you know, pretty expensive. So, $300 easy a month. So the thing is that with relying on supplementation, you are now trying to add synthetic nutrients back into your diet that you have been restricting in the first place because of your restrictive approach to your diet, that your autoimmune diet that you're doing. So now you are in a situation where you are probably under eating, you're restricting too many food groups that leaves you nutrient deficient, you are feeling the symptoms come back. Now you're reaching to the supplementation to fill the gaps. And this is a cycle that it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. It's not going to bring you the wellness, the feeling of well nourishment, the feeling of energy, the feeling of that your body is balanced. Then doing all of these three things, what it brings you is it takes you on that it's almost like a um it's like a circle that you're on, like you're spinning in a circle and going round and round in circles with doing these steps, and you can't hop off. And if you hop off, if you ditch the supplementation because you can't afford it anymore, it's too much, then all of a sudden your symptoms come back, then you have to include the supplementation again. Or if you're starting to introduce more foods and your system is blowing up because it hasn't seen this food, your digestion hasn't seen that food for a very long time, and digestion is not up to par to digest the fiber and the harder to digest foods, then you are starting to restrict again. So you are constantly in that cycle. So those are the three mistakes that I see people often make when they're starting to address autoimmune nutritionally: under eating, restricting too much foods, and relying on supplementation. So I hope that was helpful. If you watch this video later on, please let me know in the comments with hashtag replay so that I know who's watching it live and who's watching it on a replay. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out in the comments or DM me, and I can, explain my videos more in detail. So another thing I was going to do today is I was going to do some announcements for you guys. So as you might have seen in the banner, I will be running my 5-day masterclass series, my 5-day free masterclass series again next Monday. I'm so excited. I have updated the materials. The workbook and the recipe guide will go out on Friday. It's not too late to join yet. If you register for it, you will get the workbook, you will get the recipe guide, and you can participate in order to win a little bit of a beautiful, beautiful giveaway that I have for you guys. So if you're interested in learning on how to address leaky gut when you are dealing with an autoimmune, and how to start to live well, abundantly with an autoimmune disease, I invite you to come join us starting Monday for the rest of the week. It's going to be an amazing event. There's going to be a lot of information. Yeah, it's just a wonderful way to learn and to start implementing and to start seeing results for yourself. So this is it from me today. And for you guys, for those of you who have registered, I am actually going to do a quick live stream tomorrow, Thursday, tomorrow evening. It's going to be a quick orientation on what's going to happen next week. So join me tomorrow at 7 p.m. for that orientation so that you're all set for Monday. And if you haven't registered yet, it's not too late yet. Let me know. I can get you registered, or just follow the link in the comments and get yourself registered. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday. I hope these tips were helpful for you. Let me know in the comments if you watch this as a replay or live. And yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye.